Joining us here on the show to talk about Clemson's road back to a college football playoff is a former All-American there at Clemson and also a two-time Super Bowl champion with the San Francisco 49ers of the Jerry Rice, or I should say of the Joe Montana era before Jerry Rice was there. Our good friend, Jim Stuckey. Jim, good morning.
DA, so glad to be on your show. Thank you. It's good. I love you talking about Clemson. Looking forward to the season to get started.
My pleasure to have you on. Love talking a little college football with you. And as somebody that follows Clemson football very closely, do you think it's the right decision for Dabo to go with Kelly Bryant as the starting quarterback?
Yes, I do, very much so. I think Kelly has earned that right. He's certainly familiar with the system, although Trevor has come in, and I think he was in at spring practice too, and with the preseason getting started, I think Dabo made the correct decision to go with Kelly and to get Trevor Lawrence in there early and often, to get him some game reps. And as much as you play in high school and as prolific a passer and everything he is, and I know he's certainly familiar now with our offense and getting more familiar, but playing a first game against Furman, which is a great university here in South Carolina, but I think a lower Division I school for sure, that he'll be able to get some reps, get some game time, get some timing down, and let both these guys, Kelly and Trevor, knock the rust off.
All the reports are that Kelly Bryant's more comfortable in the offense, better field, downfield, more leadership in the locker room. How much growth do you think we'll see in Kelly Bryant in year 2 versus what we saw last year taking over for Deshaun?
Well, I think he'll be a whole lot more comfortable. Deshaun is, 2 years removed now from the program, and those were huge shoulders to fill for Kelly Bryant. Totally different player than Deshaun, and although he made some mistakes, he's a talented athlete. And I think he'll continue to grow. All the interviews, everything that I've seen, everybody that I've talked to said he's just maturing much more into the leader that the quarterback position commands, quite frankly, at Clemson or anywhere. I mean, if you're the quarterback, you better be the darn leader of the team.
Jim Stuckey joins us, two-time Super Bowl champion, former All-American at Clemson here on the DA Show. And it's kind of amazing. I mean, Clemson has made now 3 straight college football playoffs, and they're the heavy favorites to come out of the ACC again and perhaps be back at the college football playoff. It's amazing the machine that Dabo has built. And when you look around at it, is it amazing to you to just see how it's a powerhouse that just keeps regenerating every year?
Well, you know what, and I think that's certainly a tribute to Dabo and his staff, and they're going out and recruiting not only some of the best athletes in the country, but also the best student athletes and guys that buy into his system that will fit into what he's trying to do. And the program that he's created at Clemson and how they do things, and they're buying into it. And it was evident by 3 of our defensive linemen coming back for their senior year, and arguably we'll have the 4 best defensive linemen in the country and one of the greatest defensive lines possibly of all time in college football.
I was going to say, man, you could have out of this defensive line all 4 guys potentially as first-round draft picks or first- or second-round draft picks. These guys are amazing top to bottom. They get after the passer. They stop the run. They're athletic. They're fast. They're powerful. When you watch all 4 of them play on the defensive line, I mean, it's astounding to watch how good they are. And most of them decided to come back for another year of football this year.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, and that, again, it's a tribute to Dabo and his program, and they wanted to finish something that they started. And very few times in college football today do you see guys opt out that would have been surefire first-round picks to come back and finish what they started and to play with their guys here and finish and possibly go after another national championship. I know it left a bad taste in Clemson's mouth last year, getting knocked out in the semifinals, and they didn't finish it the way they wanted to. And once you go to the mountaintop, it's you want to come back. And I think they've got a very formidable road path there, but the schedule is somewhat softer, I think, than it certainly was last year. So we'll see. And I think they're appropriately ranked behind Alabama for the preseason polls. And Coach Saban, he does it year after year, too. But I think Alabama and Clemson are the two most prolific college football programs in the land today.
On a more somber note, the passing of a former teammate and friend of yours, Dwight Clark, not long ago, as you played both college football with him and at the 49ers with him as well. How tough was that? Obviously, he was in failing health for a while now, but I think it struck the football community hard at both college and the NFL. How did you handle it?
Well, I handled it by, one, I was thankful for the good Lord to take Dwight sooner than later with this insidious disease. I saw him 4 times in November and December out in San Francisco, and saw him once in March of last year. And see him go from standing talking, he couldn't hold a coffee cup or whatever, I had to hold that for him, but to see his words were slurring, he was slower to talk, he was in a wheelchair, and I'm just thankful that he was able to see so many of his teammates, his former teammates, still be an ambassador to the 49er organization, which he was for many, many years, and still one of the 49ers' favorite sons. But that whole city embraced him, and it just reminds each and every one of us, the good Lord's going to take you home at some time, and this disease affects everybody, no matter whether you're one of the prettiest little wide receivers you've ever seen in your life, and or just any guy off the street. We just have to live each day like it's going to be our last. So it was tough to lose him, and it makes you reflect on how I'm going to live my life and how can I make a positive impact on people each and every day.
Jim Stuckey, 2-time Super Bowl champion, All-American at Clemson, joining us here on the show. We always love talking to you about your health as well, because with Nutrisystem, you've been able to shed pounds and keep them off and have a healthy lifestyle. So how are you doing with that?
You know what, DA? Nutrisystem got me healthy. And as what I did, as I've told you before, I was one apple pie short of 290 pounds. And today I'm 6'5", I weigh 220, and I've remained with Nutrisystem and myself and Dan Marino, and I love the Turbo Shakes. The Turbo Shakes are my favorite by far, and they fill me up. But the one thing Nutrisystem does, it's man food. You can get in, you can eat and lose the weight. And, most people at the end of the season, they're 10 pounds overweight and everything, guys sitting on the couch and everything. But go ahead and get the season started now, guys, is what I'm telling people. Get it started now. You can go to Nutrisystem.com, and it's game time. So you can look good, you can feel good during the season, so you don't have to worry about it. So, you might have to go out, see a bunch of people out somewhere at the sports bars, so you better be looking good or somebody's going to take your place.
Nutrisystem.com is where you can get more information. Jim, it's always a pleasure to catch up, my man. Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll do this again later on in the football season, bud.
DA, we will. I'd like to congratulate Odell Beckham getting $95 million, because he got $94 million more than I did. It's incredible.
Shockingly, me too. Can't believe it.
Yes, absolutely. Look here, you guys do well. Thank you for having me on, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you. Jim Stuckey joining us this morning.